Yes, we are live. Good evening, marvelous entrepreneurs. Good evening, good morning, whatever time you are watching this live event. Well, our guest is very much here, and today we are going to do a session on the millionaire mindset thing. And our guest for the day is Sharm Siva. Before
Hi.
I introduce her, like type in hashtag live if you're watching live and hashtag replay if you're watching this event as a replay. If you have any questions on this particular topic for the guest, please post it in the comments and the guest will be answering it towards the end of the session. So watch this with your family and friends, ask questions, let us extract the knowledge of our guest today. So Sharm Siva is a money mindset transformationalist based in Sydney, Australia. She shows people how to open themselves up to abundance through transformative mindset work. She has helped many clients and students through her coaching programs and online courses to heal their relationship with money. Many of her clients are entrepreneurs who used to be stuck at an income ceiling or who struggle because they see a lack of clients or sales in their business. Transforming their relationship with money has helped them unblock what's been blocking them from the success they desire. Her website is sharmsiva.com, sharmsiva.com, and she has a Facebook group, Magnify Your Money Mindset with Sharm Shiva, where like she talks a lot about the importance of mindset in becoming the type of person that money is attracted to. So a huge welcome, Sharm Shiva, to Marvelous Women Entrepreneurs.
Thanks, Kavitha. So happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome. So, Sam, like how you got into this industry? Like, is this what you learned and had been doing right from the beginning?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about this later, but basically, I have learned about this. So I started getting interested in the mind about 15 years ago when I was introduced to the law of attraction through Rhonda Byrne's The Secret. You know that, right, Kavitha? The Secret?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got myself certified as a law of attraction coach, and I've been doing coaching for about 15 years. And recently, about a few years ago, less than a decade ago, I started wondering about the brain, right? So I actually teach corporate clients and leaders about the brain in terms of how they can become a better leader, or how they can perform better. And so the neuroscience aspect of it, I find very interesting, especially when you connect it to your money mindset. So when you talk about money, a lot of us want to become rich. I think all of us want to have more
Yes,
money.
everybody. Who
Everybody.
doesn't want that?
Exactly. It's like default, right? We want to become rich, but at the same time, so we're having this great desire to become rich, but at the same time, we feel that, there's something blocking us, because if we're rich, right, if we get what we want and we become rich, so we can have new intentions. But if that's not happening, we have to ask ourselves why. And a big element that is sabotaging us from getting what we want, right, getting more money, is the brain. So I found that very interesting, and I started including brain work into my money mindset coaching, which has been tremendous because lots of people have benefited from that. Yeah, that is how I.
So it is more than the mindset, is it? That is what you are telling.
Absolutely. So we know mindset like attracts like, right? Whatever you think you become, we know this. A lot of us have been introduced to this through The Secret, through law of attraction books and things like that. And so I'm thinking it, but why am I not getting it? So that is the block right now. That's the gap between intending and getting it. So that's how I like to put the brain inside this work and say, this is not happening because this is what the brain is doing, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Okay.
Yes.
So is that an easy thing? Because see, a lot of people, as you mentioned right now, a lot of people have this problem. They practice a lot of things, law of attraction, visualization, journaling, this, that. But as you said, like the result, what people get is very, I mean, to very few people get the result immediately or even in the long run. They keep practicing and then like they tell, oh no, this is not working for me. This is
Yeah.
not something which works.
Yeah.
So
So I'll kind of give you a short version of how the brain is stopping us from doing this. So consciously, okay. So when I say consciously, basically means that we are so aware of this part. So we are aware that we want more money. It's very simple. If you're having struggles paying the bills, or if you have a roof that, you know, a roof leak that you can't fix because of money, your car keeps breaking down, or even as entrepreneurs, having a fixed amount of money every month. Huh? Let's say we make $1,000 a month and we want more. We definitely want more because that expands us, right? So consciously, we definitely know we want more because what we are seeing in our life right now, we think money can actually help us become better at, right? Better at helping our families, better at taking care of ourselves, our needs. And so that's what money can do. And we know that. So that's our conscious mind saying, I want more money. Okay. Law of attraction says, like attract like. So what you think you become. So you start thinking, okay, I want to have more money. I want to have more money. And that's where visualization comes in, meditation, all sorts of law of attraction techniques come in. Now, you're visualizing, okay? And then you realize that, you know, for some people, it's difficult to visualize even. Okay, number one, what are you visualizing? What are you seeing in your mind? Okay, we're not sure, it's not clear enough. That is one issue. Issue number two is repetition is so super important when we're doing shifting work. Okay, so we want to transform. So currently we're a person who makes $1,000 a month and we want to transform ourselves to the person who makes $10,000 a month. Now that is a big shift. Okay, that is a big shift. And so how do we get from where we are now to that person, that version of ourselves who makes $10,000 a month? We don't know that, because if we know how to do that, we'll already be there, but we're not there yet. So how do we do this, right? So we try to visualize, we try to imagine, we try to script, okay? But the thing is that most of us, and this is, I've met like thousands of clients with regards to money, okay? And I can tell you this for sure. Most of us cannot do the work repeatedly over and over and over again. But that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, there's a new research, Kavitha, I don't know if you're still here, but there's a new research that says that to help the brain hook on to something more empowering. So when we talk about habits, right, we have money mindset habits. So our that we've picked up from childhood, living in an environment where, for example, we look at our parents and our parents struggled a lot with money. And that, because we live in that environment over and over and over again, unknowingly, it has created repetitions in the brain. And the brain loves repetitions because the more you repeat something, the more the brain is going to believe that as a truth. So once the brain believes this as the truth, the brain is going to hook on to the fact that money is hard to come by. Why? Because I've repeatedly experienced this as a child. I've seen this happen, and so I believe it. So it takes a lot for the brain to hook on to something and for us to make it a habit. Now, if you want to change decades of limiting beliefs around money, you want to shift that to something more empowering, it's going to take a while. And this is what a lot of people, they know this, but it's so difficult to practice because you're doing this visualization for one day and it feels so exciting and you're excited and you're thrilled because you know that you're going to transform. You do it 2 days, you do it 1 week, and nothing happens. And then you start wondering, why isn't this
Yeah.
working? I must be doing something wrong. And that is when you start introducing tight feelings like doubt. Okay, doubt is a huge one, or fear, or even self-worth. So you're thinking, am I even worth it? And then you get all these feelings that come into your proper empowering visualization work. And what happens is it kind of dilutes the visualization, if you get what I mean. So, and the brain doesn't, the brain is not going to hook onto something that is diluted, that doesn't feel strong enough. And so you're visualizing. After 7 days, you're like, this is not working. I'm going to drop it. And so when you drop it, the brain loses interest and it goes back to its old limiting habits. So the most important thing, Kavitha, if you say, a lot of people say, I've tried this and it doesn't work, and you're absolutely right. That's what a lot of us experience. You need to be stronger than your doubts or your fears, and you need to be stronger, and you need to keep doing it.
With full conviction. With full conviction.
Full conviction. So yes, doubts will come, and that's where things like affirmations can help. So if doubts come and say, is this even working? Let your affirmations be the stronger power, and let your affirmations lead. So you can say something like, yeah, you know what? I choose to believe that this is working for me. And then you move on with your visualization. So a new study, this is a very recent study. So once upon a time ago, they tell us that we need to do something for 30 or 21 days for it.
21 days minimum, yeah.
Exactly. So now there's a new study that says that do it for 66 days. So that's a bit more than 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it for
I've even heard 90 days.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's there are lots of theories. And for me, it doesn't matter. I tell you what, a lot of people ask me, how many days? I say, do it until it happens for you. Because isn't that what you're supposed to do? You don't have to set a timeline. I'll do it for 30 days and then see what happens. And then if it doesn't happen, then what? Right? So, like, for example, I once upon a time ago, Kavitha, I was struggling in my business. So this was about, say, 15 years ago, plus minus. And there was no income. Okay, so I was on a verge of giving up. It was a very, very difficult time for me. And I started scripting because that's when I learned about the law of attraction, and I learned about the power of scripting. So scripting basically means write down what you want. Okay, so I was taught by a coach to write down what I want in the format of a story, and I call this my ideal life. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in my ideal life, what would happen? So I said, okay, I wanted six-figure income. And so there were a few asks. The six-figure income, I wanted to be in a workspace where I was respected by my bosses and my colleagues, where I was applauded. I don't know why that was so important to me, but I saw myself being applauded by many people around me. And for me, maybe that was important at that point. And I also asked for other things, like I wanted to go to Rome. I loved Italy, and I never went to Europe or anything before then. And I thought, okay, I'll just make that into, an ask as well. And so there were a few asks there. And 2 weeks, really, really, this is not a joke. Once I started scripting, every day, morning and night, I would read the entire story, okay? Twice a day. And at the 2-week mark, my husband came back from work and said, is your passport active? And I said, yes, it's active. And he says his organization was sending him to London for a job hiring thing. And he asked if I wanted to come. I said, yes, definitely I wanted to come to London. But remember, my ask was I wanted to go to Rome, right? And so when I was there, I actually planned a trip, and I actually finally went to Rome. So that happened within 2 weeks of my ask, okay? And then within the next 3 months, I managed to get everything on that list. So Sometimes it happens quicker. So of all the things that I had on my list, why did Rome manifest first? I always ask myself this, and I always use this as a sample story, because there was least resistance. Okay, I would sit up just before going to bed every night, visualizing me in Rome in front of the Trevi fountain. I would see the fountain, I would hear the birds, I would hear the people around me. And that actually made me believe that I was in front of the Trevi fountain. I did this every day for 2 weeks. Okay, and I like to stress this because some people say it takes me so long to manifest. That's right. Okay, the longer it takes you to manifest, the reason is because there is less conviction. So I believed more in the fact that I could go to Rome versus earning a 6-figure income, if you know what I'm saying here, right? So that's why Rome came to me first. And then 3 months later, the income, the applause, I was actually applauded. You know, I gave a speech and I was applauded and things like that. So everything on my list came true. So is this going back to Kavitha's question?
Sorry about that. I had power cut here.
Oh dear. Is everything okay now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, so
okay.
going back to Kavitha's question earlier about, you know, how long, right? Is it 30 days, 90 days, 66 days, 21 days? It doesn't matter. Like if you ask me, I wouldn't mind. I would continue doing it until I see the result, because that's the most important part of this work, the transformation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you talked about scripting, I remembered, like, some people ask you to read the affirmation, like what you write, whatever asks you have. Some people suggest you write every day.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, which is better, and how many times should you write?
Yeah. So the writing works as well. I tried it, but then I got really tired of it really fast, just because I didn't feel full enthusiasm when I'm writing it. I felt that it was a lot of work. And that's the most important thing, right? What is going to work for you is what is easy for you. Okay. What feels right for you is going to work best for you. So this is what I always tell my clients. I have a couple of books written, and I always start the book saying, these are many, many pages of tips. Take what is aligned to you. Okay. Because there will be many coaches and books that you meet and read, you know, in this journey. And what's going to serve you is what's going to feel most aligned to you. So if it doesn't feel aligned, like for me, writing doesn't, but I know many people have written, right? So they keep writing, and then they see, because that's when they're writing, they are believing it. Okay. It's not going to happen if you feel exhausted doing this work every day. It has to be some element of excitement and thrill. So for me, I write once, and then I read it. Sometimes I record it and listen to it. So you can do so many methods. Just check in with yourself to see what is aligned and what is, you know, probably, if it's not right, drop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So members, like, if you have any query for Sharm Siva, you can ask your questions in the comment box. We can get it answered. So Sharm, like, how is your way of this training in the mindset, which takes a person from, you know, poverty mindset or negative mindset to abundance, or the millionaire mindset, which you call? How is that journey done
Okay.
by you?
So for me, right, the belief is that this is after many years of trying so many techniques myself, some working, some not working. What I realize is, when you are not where you are financially, okay, you have an ideal financial state that you want to be in, and you're not there yet, it's a very good indication that it's related to the mindset. Okay, that's number one. Number two, a lot of us are not financially where we want to be at because we have unintentionally been holding on to a lot of beliefs that are limiting us. Okay, I say unintentional because no one wants money blocks, but we are blocking money. We are chasing money away, or we are blocking it from coming in. Either ways, it's not coming in. So my technique, and this is something that is extremely, extremely powerful, is something I call release to receive. Okay, so a lot of limits that we have that are blocking money is usually emotional blocks. Okay, and so yes, sometimes it's because we have limiting beliefs about money, but other times and this is equally as important, we are holding on to things from the past that are still impacting us. We don't realize it's impacting us, but every time you feel it, it becomes an emotional tightness, and that's blocking money from coming in. So I'll give an example. So I had a client who was kind of molested or has some sexual assault done onto her from her childhood. Okay, and she has forgiven the assaulter. All right, she has done a lot of trauma work and healing over decades to forgive that person, and she managed to do that. But now when I spoke to her and I dug deeper, because I believe that there is some anger or some fear or guilt that you're holding on to that's blocking all channels. Because sometimes when you think about something wrong someone has done to you in the past, it can consume you. You start thinking about everything connected to that, and you can't think about anything else. So that's a good indicator that you're blocking anything else from coming in. So with her, she was actually angry with her father because at that point, her father knew about what happened to her and did nothing about it. And her father actually talked to the assaulter as friends and things like that. So the anger that she felt was towards her father, and that was something she didn't realize. And when we spoke, deeper, we found out that she's holding on so much to this anger. And so we did a lot of releasing, right? You release the anger by either forgiving yourself, forgiving someone else. And there's lots of techniques like EFT or Ho'oponopono. That's in ancient Hawaiian prayer. There's so many techniques you can use to forgive and heal and release. And as soon as she did that, so before that, she had a business with 0 clients. I think she was working for, she had the business for about 9 months-ish, something like that. No income, no clients whatsoever. As soon as we did the releasing, within a month, I think she got her first full paying client. And then clients started coming in. So I would get messages from her. By the way, I got my first paying client. I got my second paying client, third paying client. So I like to give this example because it is a very clear indicator that something tight you're holding on to is blocking money. So when you release that, you actually open up your channels of receiving money. And so it is like it's like a cycle. You just need to release to receive, release to receive. And that's basically the core chunk of my my work, Kavitha.
Awesome. That's a new information for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yes.
realize not many people do that or know that. And I'm writing a book that comes out in February that is called Release to Receive. And I think that's
Wow.
really, really powerful when it comes to abundance. Yeah.
Awesome. So, like, can you give some quick tips to our viewers, our members, like for practicing uh, this releasing technique as well as how to do the affirmation properly?
Yeah. So it's actually quite simple. It's not as easy to do, but it's very simple step-by-step technique, right? So firstly, you need to have an intention. Okay, we all know this consciously. We have an intention. And that's why I've termed this talk, Step into Your Millionaire Entrepreneur Self. Okay. If you can see that version of you who already has everything that you want right now, okay, let's call her your millionaire entrepreneur self. And I teach this a lot in my courses as well. For me, I call it millionaire self, right? But for this purpose, let's call her millionaire entrepreneur self. That's the version of you that has everything that you want right now. So what is your dream income? You know, how many clients do you want to see in a year? How many clients do you want to see in a month? What is your business? When you have all these very clear in your mind, you can start seeing your millionaire entrepreneur self, right? So I have this little exercise that I would like to recommend to viewers of your group. We are all magnificent, marvelous, was it? Women entrepreneurs. We are that, okay? Now, how does our millionaire self look like? So try to get a piece of paper out or get a notepad in front of your laptop or your phone, and just start writing down my millionaire entrepreneur self, okay? And start asking questions like, okay, so who is she, right? Where does she live? What kind of house does she live in? What kind of car does she drive? What is the make and what's the model? What's the color? Start getting excited about how that version of you is living her millionaire life. Okay.
How
Now,
does she dress up?
beautiful. That is one question that is very popular. Okay. So when I ask that question about where does she shop for her clothes? How does she dress up? That gets everyone pumped up because it's like it's starting to look real. You know, what sunglasses does she wear? What color hair does she have? When you dig deeper into getting to know her, you're going to be able to become her eventually. So that's the idea. We're going to step into her, right? So that's number one. We need to know what we want. We need to know what that ideal life looks like so we can start stepping into it. Okay. Number two, Kavitha, is the brain is going to stop us. Our brain is wired to keep us safe. Okay. Now, this is true for everyone. The idea of the brain is to keep us safe. So this has helped us in the past when our ancestors lived in jungles, and then, you know, when they were approached by wild animals or, wild weather, the brain helps protect us. We either fight or flight, right? We either fight with the animal or we run away, take shelter or whatever. So the brain has kept the human species alive for so many centuries. Now, where we are today, we still have the same brain. It still protects us from threats. But the brain doesn't understand a threat between a lion standing beside us or not being able to pay the bills. Okay? For us, for the brain, these two are very similar threats. So you can't tell which is more dangerous or which is more real. For the brain, every threat is real. Now, when we have been conditioned for years to believe that money is hard to come by, okay, and then now we are starting this new exciting activity where we want to start creating our millionaire entrepreneur self. The brain is going to say, "Hang on, what are you trying to do?" That's a threat. You know, this image of you making $10,000 a month is a threat. It feels scary. Let's not go there. This is how the brain is wired. So consciously you're saying, I want to make $10,000 a month. Subconsciously, your brain is literally pulling you back and saying, no, it's too dangerous. It's too risky. Let's not go there. So we need to first admit that it's going to happen, and we need to know how to manage that. So as we're doing work, identifying our millionaire entrepreneur self, we also want to make sure that every day is an opportunity for us to step into this millionaire entrepreneur self. And how we do this effectively is through affirmations, and that's exactly what we spoke about earlier. We turn any limiting belief into an affirmation. So as you're working, right? Yes, as you're visualizing. Now suddenly a thought may pop up and say, who are you to do this? You have been earning $1,000 a month for so long, and now you want to earn $10,000 a month? Are you serious? So when that thought pops up, you need to literally stop what you're doing and say, yes, that's my aim and I'm going to get it. Something that silences that voice of doubt, of fear, or negative self-worth or limiting self-beliefs, anything that you can say. And the good thing is, we don't have to go out now and buy something or a tool to make this happen for us. We have everything that we have within us. Okay, we know how to manage our brain. All we need is our words, right? We can speak, we can think, and all we need to do is just use this power to shift our beliefs towards something more transformative.
Okay, that's interesting. So, other than affirmation, like, is there anything else that works, or they can do uh, whatever is convenient for them there also, like affirmation? Some people write journaling, some do vision boards.
Absolutely.
Can they try all those techniques?
Yeah. So anything that works for you is going to work for you. That is basically it. So what you've mentioned are really powerful techniques. Some of us do it not knowing why we're doing it. And that is also another opportunity to improve, a platform for improvement, because we know that it's important for us to know that, okay, I'm visualizing every day because I want to become that person who lives that lifestyle. I'm writing this every day because of this. I'm journaling, or I'm storyboarding, or I'm vision boarding
Vision boards.
because of that, right? Because I want to become that person. So um, when we talk about techniques, there are tons of techniques. There are so many people, even on YouTube, read blogs, just Google up law of attraction techniques. You have tons of techniques. Select one that works best for you. And sometimes, like for me, journaling used to work really well before. Vision boarding used to work really, really well before. And then I realized, like, okay, and this is really powerful, right? I realized that at one point of my life, I didn't have a proper place to put the vision board in my room without everyone else seeing it. Okay. And so that was weird, because when I put it, and then my mom walks into the room and she goes like, oh, what's that? And then I don't feel comfortable talking to her about it because it feels so personal to me. And so I'm like, okay, so, and very quickly vision boarding became not a very good technique for me. And that's good. Once you realize it's not working for whatever reason, drop it and just start, okay, what else can I try that feels right to me? But find one and stick to one until you get what you want.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So this same technique can be applied to for getting something else also other than money, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. What are you thinking of getting, Kavitha? What's on your mind?
Oh no, I have a long list. In fact, as you said, like I write my goals every day morning, and I read couple of affirmations, and I hear it before going to bed. I
And
have a
how
vision board.
is that working for you?
Yes, it is very important.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Very
sometimes
important.
also, like, you're doing all this, right? It seems like you have a routine every day when it comes to prepping your mindset for success. And that is so important, because while we're doing this because we want to live that better lifestyle, having a routine every day keeps us accountable to increasing our vibes. Okay, so for me, one of the things I teach my client is, how do you magnify that money vibe, which is so important, right? So we just recently had a money gratitude rampage party. So one entire hour, we just said thank you to money. Okay, and it was so powerful, that session, that someone who watched that 9 hours later received $2,250. Okay.
Wow.
Money started coming in, and that's also because you're releasing something. When you are in gratitude mode, gratitude is one of the most powerful tools. when you're in gratitude mode and you're consistently for 1 hour saying thank you money for coming into my wallet, thank you for coming into my business, when you keep saying that, there's no space for anything else to breed within you. There's no space for anger, there's no space for fear or doubt. So what you're doing is you're filling your entire space and energy, you're magnifying that energy of, abundance, and money will definitely come in. This is what I try to instill very strongly in my clients. Actually, you don't have to do too much work. Some people have money routine, daily routines that are so long that they have to spend 2 hours every morning completing that routine before starting their day. If it works for you, fine. But if you feel like it's so much work, which it might be, then then you're actually subconsciously believing that I have to do so much work for money to come in, right? So
Yeah, agree.
exactly, always watch your vibes, watch your feelings, watch your emotions when it comes to money, and that will actually immediately tell you whether, as long as you feel good, that is a good thing. Once you feel tightness or anger or fear or doubt or whatever, then you know that it's you're off track.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is where, like, it is very important for us to practice whatever you are doing in a very calm stage. Like, the more calmer your mind is, the more effective these things will become.
exactly.
Because otherwise, like, these things will not work if you are doing it with full of, stress, tension, anger, rage. If your mind is not calm, these things will not work.
Absolutely. I'm really glad you brought up that calm thing, because this is what I told one of my clients, right? So this lady, she has been struggling with money for so many years. She got a divorce, her husband got kids, lots of negative things happening for her. And when we started working on this money mindset of hers, she got very, very excited just as soon as we started talking. Like within the first 5 minutes, she was so excited. And then something happened. She lost some money or something, and then she came to me and she says, I was so excited, and then this bad thing happened to me. And I told her, the energy of manifesting is not excitement. Okay, the energy of manifesting is calm. And for people who have done this for a long time, okay, like anyone who knows the secret would have done this for 15 years, 10 years of their lives, the manifesting, the believing, they will know that excitement is not sustainable. You can't be excited 24 hours a day, because literally as a human person, you can't have that energy to sustain it. So when you get so excited, okay, excited is good, happiness is good, but when you get so excited and you start like wanting money and wanting money, you also get very quickly disappointed when money is not there. So energy management is key in manifestation, right? You don't really want to be there because you can't be there all the time. You don't want to be there because that is not a very down, is not a very good thing. You just want to maintain that calmness. And that's also when I would like to introduce meditations. I don't know if you've tried, Kavitha, but silence. So I do a lot of silent meditations. Like I don't even think about anything. I don't have any routine. I don't sit. I just lie on bed and I just
I've not tried that, because whenever I tried, I just sleep off.
sleep, exactly. And that's actually not a very bad state, because when you're actually lying down meditating and then you go to sleep, if you continue doing this, you realize that you actually can meditate a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. So I went for this 10-day Vipassana retreat. It's this Buddhist meditation where you be silent for 10 whole days and you just meditate. So there will be people around you, but you just don't communicate, no eye contact. And that was so powerful. It taught me, it taught me that I'm actually a better meditator than I thought I was. Because yes, like you very much, I sleep off, and I used to think that it's not right, but it's okay. Even if you get 5 minutes out of the 30-minute meditation, you have actually silenced and calm your mind for 5 minutes. So go for continuous improvement. Do a little, more the next time, a little more, a little more. But if you can include meditation as part of your daily routine, that's going to help heaps for manifesting.
Okay. So Elena has got one question here. How
Yeah.
can I make my mind believe that money can come to me through many various ways, not only from a specific work?
Very good.
By the way, like she loved this live.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Elena, was it? I don't see her name
Yes,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
Elena.
Elena, firstly, your question is super because I love how you are already thinking in a very expanded manner. So you are actually, through your question, what I understand is you believe that money can come through you through any channel for you. Okay. And that is for me the highest form of intention. So I've met with clients who tell me, why does money come to me from everywhere except my business, for example? Okay. Or I'm only getting money from my business. And what about the other ways? Okay. Now, you affirm this, Alina. You declare that this is a truth for you. And using affirmation, when we repeatedly declare something, it's going to become true for us. So let me just read a question. How can I make my mind believe that money can come to me? You don't have to make your mind, but you're on the right track. You train your mind. You train your mind, and I want you to try doing this. Let's create an affirmation for you. And I want you to tell me whether this feels right, Alina. You can say something like, all right, money, I love to believe, or I love to start a sentence with I love to believe, because if it's not my current state, it gives me hope that it can be my future state. I love to believe that money comes to me from any and all channels. All right. So I love to believe that money can come to me through any and all channels. How does that sound, Alina? I'd love to hear your comments.
Yes.
Yeah, because that is a very, very, very powerful affirmation. So, for some people, when they say, "Okay,
And
money,"
when you affirm that, you also imagine, you close your eyes, and then you affirm, you see that money is coming to you. It will surely work.
exactly. Now, if you can't, okay, not many of us are visual. Yay, yes, this helps. Awesome, Elena. If you can't see money coming through you from all channels, it's fine. Don't worry too much about it. Keep the affirmation going. Okay. Do it for 30 days and see what happens. And this is also what I like to suggest to all my clients. Every single day, I want you to observe the amount of money that's coming into your life. I'm very visual. Oh, then that works. If you're very visual, Alina, then what Kavitha says is going to absolutely work. Just close your eyes and picture gold coins or lots of dollars just flowing through you. Honestly, I did this once. Every time I say some affirmation like this, I picture myself doing this, okay, arms wide open. And then I just imagine cash flowing into my life. And that makes me feel good. So whatever makes you feel good is going to amplify that feeling. All right. So try that, Elena. Right? Kavitha, do you agree?
Yes, 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 of course. That feeling, the connection between affirming and feeling has to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So like for me, for example, words play a big role. So when I say something, like even as I'm affirming Alina's affirmation, right? So as I'm affirming, I love knowing that money comes to me through any and all channels. I literally feel this area, my chest area, I feel tingling. I feel
Happy.
tingling sensation. Exactly, because it has hit home. It feels right. And that is the feeling that we want to attach ourselves to. Whether it's visualizing, whether it's saying, scripting, journaling, vision boarding, whatever the technique may be, once you feel that feeling, you know something's already working. So just keep that up. Okay. I would honestly like to suggest 66 days. But I'm not saying that it cannot manifest for you anytime sooner. So watch out. Or as I was saying, Kavitha, sorry. So for Elena, every day watch out for money coming in, even in the slightest form. Like when I started doing this, I started seeing 20 cents coins here and there on my table, on my dining table, in my cupboard. Like how? Okay, but it just appeared. Alina says, I tried this before, imagining that I'm a money magnet. Awesome, but I didn't do it constantly. Absolutely, Alina. So if you've been
Yeah.
following this little chat that we have, you know that the key is in the repetition. So sometimes you feel a little bit of resistance. So fight the resistance with an affirmation and keep going with your new belief until it becomes the truth for you.
Yeah, not only that, see, I know some people they stop once they start getting whatever they are asking for. But as far as this mindset things are concerned, we should not stop. That is my understanding, right, Shiva?
Absolutely. I see very often coins on the street, but I want 1,000. Yes, this is very powerful. So here's why it is very important to celebrate any amount of money coming in. Okay.
Yes.
Because it's not, at some point, it's not going to be about the money. It's going to be about your money feelings, your money vibes. When you see a 20 cent, do you just say, that's just a 20 cent? Okay. That did not amplify your money mindset or money vibes at all. So that's a lost opportunity. If you see 20 cents and say, where did this come from? Okay, where did this come from? This is so exciting. I wonder if I can get more. Now, honestly, this is an affirmation that I say myself every morning, right? I wake up and I say, I'm excited to see where money is going to come from today. Even as I say that now, I feel tingling, right? So just saying, I'm excited to see where money is going to come from is giving an opportunity or a platform or an opening for money to say, okay, I'm going to come in through this channel or this channel. It could be the business, it could be this. Okay, I celebrate them when I receive, no
Yeah.
matter what the
You
amount.
celebrate and then be grateful. When whatever, like even if it's it's a penny, celebrate it and be grateful for that.
Yeah. And another powerful money magnifier is this, right? So when you see money at 20 cent, you get excited, you get happy, you are grateful for that, you're celebrating that 20 cent. But you can also magnify that experience by saying, I see 20 cents and I invite 1,000 times this 20 cents to come into my life.
Okay.
That's
Wow.
right? So you're actually celebrating the money and you say, hey, money, I wonder if you can come to me 1,000 times more than this. You're not desperate. You're not saying, 20 cents, okay, now I have to get 2,000. How do I do it? You're not desperate. You're not urgent. Just in a relaxed, playful kind of manner. 20 cents. Let's see if I can do 1,000 times more than that. So powerful. Right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Does that help, Elena? Well, Sharm, I have also heard this thing like there are a lot of people who only want money to come to them. Like when it comes to giving, they are very picky there. They
Okay.
hesitate to give. So, is there any relationship in money coming to us and we giving?
Okay, so I'll do this. I'll answer you in a coaching kind of style. So I'll ask you what you think. Okay. So let's say you have an opportunity to give and you don't give. How is that impacting your money mindset?
Yeah, I feel bad.
You feel bad
I
because?
feel guilty because I'm not giving.
Okay. But if you feel guilty, then why not just give? What's stopping you from giving?
Yes, that is where like most people. I know the reason,
Just tell me.
but
So
yeah, yeah.
let's say you are that person, which we know you're
Yes,
not. Let's say. So what would
because
possibly
everybody they want to retain the money.
exactly? Okay. So then comes a thought. Okay. Well, I see Elena's question. I'll get to that in a bit. Let's do Kavitha first. So the thought of, I want to give, but I better not because I'll have less and what I need is more. Then you have guilt. So what you're doing is you are keeping yourself stuck. Again, it's not very much about money. Yeah. It's okay. Some people don't give and they're multi-billionaires. Why? Because they don't have a guilt of not giving. If you're the kind of person who has the guilt of not giving, it will impact you. If you first you decide, okay, I'm not going to give, and then you spend nights thinking about that, then it's going to keep you stuck. So it's very individual. A lot of people say, if I give money, I'm a good person, so I should receive money. It's all in what you believe. Some people honestly believe whether or not I give, I'm going to make it big. And they do. And they do. So
Mhm.
it's not about being a good or bad person. It's not about doing good or bad things. Okay. You attract money based on how you feel about money, how you feel about how you experience money. And that's going to make or shift your money story. Okay, I'm going to move on to Elena. She says, that's why I'm a little frustrated. In the past months, I really feel I changed a lot of my money beliefs using various tools. Congratulations. But still, I'm not manifesting enough, and this affects all areas of my life. Now, I would like to, if you don't mind, Elena, I would also like to coach you a little bit. Now, when I want you from this point forward, I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to expand the way you see money. Because when you see money differently, you're going to experience money differently. Okay? I want you to start changing the words you use when it comes to money. If I read that particular paragraph, right? Okay. But still, I'm not manifesting enough. Ooh, okay. What you say is going to become your story. This is how I teach all my clients. So please, I hope you don't get annoyed, but that is what I am going to pick on because that is what needs shifting right now. So if I were to shift that, okay, shift that sentence. So right now, right, Elena and Kavitha and anyone else who's watching, I don't want to. I mean, I watch my words so carefully, like seriously. So I was watching a TV ad. So in Australia, we had bushfires quite recently, and that was a
Yeah,
huge
last
thing.
year.
Yeah. So at the end of the year, it gets really, really hot here, and we have bushfires. So I watched an ad where this company says, you know, we are going to give money to bushfire if you buy this product. Okay, so there's a condition. There's a condition that they have stated. We will give money if you buy our product. So I got a little bit annoyed because I'm like, hello, if you have the funds, if you have the means to help them, why aren't you doing it right now? You know, that kind of thing. And I got so annoyed, but I immediately stopped myself right there. And I said, no, this is not the way I want to think. So you know what I said? I said, I love knowing that that company is going to have millions to help with the bushfire. I shifted my entire psyche, word, energy, vibe when it came to that ad to something empowering. And this is going to help you change your money story, Elena. Okay. So instead of saying, I'm not manifesting enough, change that. You can keep the message, right? You can say something more empowering that feels a bit lighter. So instead of saying I'm not manifesting enough, you can say I've tried various tools and I'm still looking forward to seeing which tool works best for me because I see myself manifesting every day and that's what I aim for. So you're not tweaking the message too much, but you're changing the words that you're
Keeping
using,
positive.
changing your entire energy around that. Okay, we have a new question. Is that from someone new, Kavitha?
So, like she has been watching us,
And who is that?
Geeta.
Okay, so Geeta's question is, how can I train my mind joyfully? Love that word. To feel abundant in and around me without frustration. Okay, so that's a very powerful question. So the good thing, Geeta, is that you observed that right now there's a lot of frustration when it comes to feeling abundant. And frustration comes because mainly consciously you want to have more money, but when you see evidence in your real life, okay, in your physical life, it doesn't match your intention, and that's when you get frustrated, and then you start asking things like, oh, when is it going to come for me? Okay. And frustration also leads to frustration when someone else gets money. This is actually a real thing, right? Don't just push it off as, oh, I shouldn't be envious, I shouldn't be jealous. Sometimes it's not to do with jealousy, it's just about frustrated. Why have I been doing this work for months? And that person who is so oblivious, they don't know about law of attraction, they don't know about manifesting, and they have just received money, so much money. When is mine coming? Okay. So this is real. Frustration is real. And this is how I would train my mind, or even I would advise my clients. How do you train your mind to be joyfully abundant? Here's my answer, Geeta. Use every single thing that you see in your physical life as a platform to feel abundant. Okay? Everything around you can be making you frustrated, or it can make you feel abundant. You can't feel both things at the same time. It's always either or. So for example, let's take that example of somebody, let's say someone in your family has gotten a massive amount of money, and you go like, that was supposed to be my money. Like, when is mine coming? Okay, immediately shift that. Okay, use the same example and shift how you feel about it. So if you get angry, okay, let it out, but then always end with, look at her and say, okay, she's got money coming to her, and I've witnessed that. That means I'm in the flow. Money is going to come to me soon. Okay. Use this part, and this is going to be tricky because, as I said, the brain is going to want to keep you safe. The brain is going to want to tell you that, things that you are familiar with. So if all your life you've been familiar with, everyone else gets money, but not me. I'm never the lucky one. I actually had someone who come tell me, my client who come tell me, I have decided, I have determined that I am not destined for richness, because no matter what I do, money is not coming in. I must be cursed. Okay. And then she started using very powerful terms like the universe hates me. So these are very powerful feelings that can limit you. Okay. So as much as possible, Geeta, Elena, whoever else is watching, just remember one thing. When you feel tightness within you when it comes to money, you're blocking money. So I want you to feel light about it. Change your words, change how you express yourself, so how you feel when it comes to somebody else getting money, or
Even the self-talks, even the self-talks.
it is especially the self-talk. What you say to yourself can shift your entire feeling about money. So Geeta says, how do I feel abundant? That's a great question. Feeling abundant is made by you experiencing abundance despite something that's not so happy for you, right? In an environment. So I'll give an example. COVID. Okay. This pandemic has caused so many people all over the world to lose their jobs, lose their income. They've changed from a 2 household income to a 1 household income. Lots of changes in a negative direction. Now, in the same economy, okay, in the same situation, I read a Forbes article in June, right, when the pandemic was quite bad, which says during this pandemic, the rich are getting richer. Okay. And I have noticed, because this, like, for example, I live in Sydney. Sydney real estate is very expensive. And people who want to sell their houses for like $2 million are getting upmarket, right? So they're actually selling for 4 million. So this is the same economy where a lot of us are losing our jobs and are struggling. How are they doing it? Because they have trained their mind, and they're so strong at it. They can actually go and say, I want a $4 million for my $2 million house. And it's going to happen, COVID or no COVID. They're so convinced. And at the end of the day, it's that conviction, that belief, that's such a strong belief. And I call this stubborn confidence, right? You don't want to care about what's the impact of what's going on, because you are convinced that it's not going to impact you. And some people say, oh, that's so selfish. Everyone is suffering. Yes. But given a chance, wouldn't you want to make money in this pandemic? Definitely. We all want to. We all want to progress. The difference between the people who are rich during the pandemic, making more money during the pandemic, and people who are not, is not about whether or not we're cursed or living in or in a wrong country or a wrong environment, wrong culture. It's more because of what we have allowed ourselves and our brains and our minds to believe when it comes to how we experience money. So there's great power in knowing that, because once you know that, you understand that you have the power within you to change your money experiences, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I would like to add on to what you answered to Geeta. If you are there, Geeta. See, I was a person like whom was a perfectionist, and I used to find fault in everything, and I used to remain frustrated and unsatisfied with most of the things. Then I started this gratitude journaling. So during the initial days, I thought like there is not much to write, just 2 or 3 sentences. But as days passed by, as I started writing, then things improved, because then I started seeing gratitude in even small things. The phone I have, the internet connection what I have, the special food something which I eat, or maybe like a very good rainfall. So like the things for which we are grateful for will increase, and that will change our perception about abundance and the things in which you are unsatisfied or you feel frustrated. That will help you a lot.
Absolutely. Great power in gratitude. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So ladies, do you have any questions?
It's fun, yeah, talking about money.
Yes,
Money mindset.
everybody see, money is not everything, but then like money brings in the security, the comfort, the what do you call, the power of doing whatever you want to do, and that makes your life better.
See, Kavita, when I started telling people that I'm a money mindset transformationalist or a money coach, um, okay, I'll get to that question in a bit. I see that question. What are your favorite tools you use besides affirmations? Okay. Oh, you don't need tools anymore. Oh dear, no, no. I always need tools. I'll tell you why. Okay. So one of the questions that I get asked from people. So I do get a lot of good feedback from Facebook. Like a lot of people really want to improve their money mindset. I go into Facebook groups and just write a lot of content on money mindset. But I do also get people who ask me, or in a very angry energy, yeah. So they come and ask me things like, "You are here promoting money. Money is not the only thing in the world." And I have a very good answer for this, right? So a few years ago, so I used to live in Melbourne, and then my father-in-law became very sick, and he was in Malaysia, right? So now my husband and I had a very tricky decision to make, and we had to. We were thinking, how do we both? We had jobs. How do we both leave Australia because we are permanent residents, and then go back to Malaysia and take care of the father? So after doing a lot of discussion, we said, okay, we need to go back. Okay, taking care of him is very important for us. So what we did was we had a house in Melbourne, so we had to sell the house because renting was just not feasible at the time. Talking to our realtors, okay, fine. Sell our house to go back to Melbourne, to go back to Malaysia and take care of my father-in-law. And at that was one of the worst real estate markets in Australia at the time. And my realtor said, Sharm, if you sell your house now, you're going to lose money on it. And I told myself, I was like, no, because I believe more than the economy. Okay. And I believe that I can do this. And my realtor, who also believes in law of attraction, had his own doubts. So every day he used to post messages to me saying that, oh, there's a new news report about the Australian market being down. Sham, you're not going to sell at a profit. Sham, you're not going to sell. And every day I had to fight he is an industry specialist, yeah, and I had to fight the news on TV. I had to fight people coming to me and telling me this is a bad economy, proving to me here's an article that's saying, you're not going to be able to sell. And the thing was that I sold my house at a huge profit. Okay, I think cost 440,000. I wanted to sell it at 600. They promised me that I will not sell it for more than what I bought it for. So actually less. So they were saying 385. I was like, no, I'm going to get my money. And I sold my house for 585. It's not 600. It's very close. That was a huge profit, which allowed us to go back to Malaysia, take care of my father-in-law. He passed away, sadly. But then till the time he passed away, the things that we were able to give him, hospital bed in the house, nurse to take care of him 24/7, it gave us so much of happiness knowing that he lived his last days very, very well. That is what money can give you. So if you think I don't need money to buy new clothes, good, right? But don't forget how much money can expand you, your lifestyle, your family, your community, your people. There's so much great power in having a lot of money to comfortably do things for people in your life. And for me, that is my major motivator. All right?
Yes. It gives you a secure feeling. It allows you to do what you want.
Absolutely. The security. Yeah, absolutely. And it opens up new avenues for us as well. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the question. What are your favorite tools you use now besides affirmation? Okay, so I absolutely do need tools. And this is another thing that I want to tell you about money mindset. Money mindset is a lifelong journey. You need to accept that. It's not, as Kavitha said, it's not like, once you get something, it's going to be enough. Once you get something, you're going to feel so excited that you got it, and you're going to want to challenge yourself, and you're going to want to expand that even more. Right. So I'm so grateful for the money I have. I'm so grateful for everything that I have in my life right now. But do I want more? Yes. And I happily ask for it. And so what tools do I use? I use affirmations a lot because I want to rewire my brain, and I know how important it is. I use subliminals as well. So subliminals are things that are recorded, okay, with some background music. You can't really hear the words, but it's going on in the background, and subconsciously you should be able to understand it. So it's like affirmations, but you're not doing them consciously. I sometimes put on subliminals the entire day. So it's just like music to me in the background. I work, I sleep, I eat, subliminals are going on because, hey, if there's any opportunity for me to expand my money mindset, I'm going to use it. So I use subliminals, I use affirmations, visualizations. Now, here's something that I'm going to admit. Visualizations work magic for me, but I don't use it as often as I like to or as I should. Okay, sorry, there's some background noise. Okay, it's gone now. All right, so visualization is something that I would like to recommend. Use it more often. What else do I use? Oh, I love writing it down, scripting. I love writing my goals. So I read something from Brett Canfield, and he suggests that we write down one goals, and as soon as we meet that, we keep creating new goals. I read that many years ago. I did it, and now I came across it again, and I'm doing it again. I don't care because whatever makes me feel good, I'm going to do it. So I hope that answers your question. And next one, thanks both of you. We have to open an inner door of gratitude in everything around us. That is amazing. Absolutely.
Ladies, why don't you show your love? Give some hearts for Sharm.
Thank you. Okay, one more question. Also, are millionaires using tools after years and years of abundance? They already changed their beliefs. Here's the thing about, that's a very good question, by the way. Here's the thing about beliefs. When you've changed your belief, it doesn't mean that you've changed it forever. So here's where I'd like to introduce something called triggers, right? So anything around you can trigger you, okay? So for example, let's say you are already a millionaire, okay? And then you hear somebody, you're talking to somebody, and you hear somebody's voice, they sound like your grandfather, okay? Now that can be a trigger that can take you back decades. This can happen in a nanosecond, trust me. That trigger can take you back decades where you remember your grandfather sitting in front of you and saying, you know, entrepreneurs will never make it in this world. Okay? Only a 9-to-5 job is something that works. Now, without you intending this, your brain has transported you 20 years or 30 years or 40 years down the road where you are remembering something that used to be a major block for you. Now, there are two things you can do. You can just ignore the fact that it has come, or you can try to counter that thought. Now, for me, ignoring doesn't really work because you know that it's already a trigger, it has already impacted you. And until you leave that space, you need to do something about it, or else that trigger is going to manifest for you. So the power of beliefs is that once you've fixed an old belief, don't think that you can't go back. That's why everyone suggests affirmations. You need to keep doing it. It's a lifelong thing. So as soon, let's say you hear your grandfather's voice and you've journeyed that 40 years, now you can immediately say something, an affirmation or a new declaration that's more empowering. You can say something like, that is his story. It's not true for me. Okay, just that. And immediately you realize that, okay, that's just an old memory. It's okay. I'm in this space right now. I'm abundant. And so this is something I do as well. I do a rampage, right? So rampage basically means back-to-back affirmations. Sometimes I don't even write it down. I just feel it. So I go like, I'm abundant. I'm on my way to becoming a $10 million entrepreneur. I know that my business is going to work. Everything is abundance. Everywhere I see is abundance. So you just keep going. And guess what happens to your energy? It gets magnified. All right. So that's also another good tool to use, rampages.
Yeah, some people do it in the form of a prayer. The wordings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example?
I have written it over there. I have to read because I just recently found out. You want me to take it?
Yeah, go for
it. One sec.
So what Kavitha is saying is that affirmations can be read in the form of a prayer. And so when it's a prayer, you're actually asking maybe the universe, maybe God, maybe your inner self, and that has great power. Okay, so let's listen to Kavitha's prayer affirmations.
No, this is not actually mine. Like, see, because Tony, I follow Tony Robbins, and he says that rather than the affirmations, incantations works better.
Yeah. And what's the difference?
Incantations means it is kind of a prayer, something like the people do some kind of saying in the voodoo magical things, and right. So that pardon.
I'm not sure. I've heard about incantations before, but I don't understand like what's the difference. So that's why I wanted to know your point of view. How is it different from an affirmation? So maybe if you read it, we can.
For example, see, the affirmation may be just like I want to make 10,000 US dollars. Okay. So there is no emotion or feeling attached to that. Whereas if I'm saying that this 10,000 US dollars is circulating in my life, and this wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance, all my needs, desires, and goals are met instantaneously by infinite intelligence. So that brings a lot of emotion in us.
Right. Okay. So basically, from what I know, incantation is affirmations with emotions, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's very powerful. I think it's about a term. It's about wordplay, basically.
Yes.
So when I suggest affirmations, it is with emotions. So how do we term this? Some people, yeah, call it whatever you want. Affirmations. I sometimes use declarations. It can be incantations. It can be mantras, right? It can be prayer. It can be intention. Call it anything. The idea is
Because
you.
see,
Hmm,
when it comes to affirmations, a normal affirmation, for example, like, okay, the there is okay, I'm abandoned, or today I activate my wealth potential. But after few days, like if I start feeling, "Okay, am I really earning this?" Or my
yeah.
mind starts doubting. So in those circumstances, this incantations will work, because it is kind of like a prayer, a wish that you are putting to the universal forces.
Hmm. So when you say the incantation, okay, the way you were saying it is like a back to back, okay,
Yeah,
so
kind
that
of.
you can invoke that emotions within you. Okay, so I see that.
Yes,
I totally understand that. And again, it is different techniques, but the important thing, what I want to stress here, is that there is no one technique that is right. There's no one technique that's wrong.
yeah,
Feel it. If it works for you, do it. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. And if you want, there are, as we've mentioned before, tons of techniques, because you can say an affirmation with feelings. Some people can do that, right? And if you say, I am abundant, okay, that is with full of feeling. That is with full of feeling. Some people, they get that it doesn't work for them. If it doesn't work for you, then you find something different. And I like what you said, Kavitha, about, so when you say affirmations and then, when doubts come in, you want to fill your energy with so much of good affirmations that there's no space for the doubt to grow. And that's
yes,
exactly what you're doing. So you're
yes,
saying, I'm abundant, money flows to me, I can do this. So you're back to back and your energy is so high that there's no
exactly.
space for doubts, exactly, to live within you. So that is very
Yes.
powerful, Kavita. Thank you so much for sharing that.
It's okay. Welcome. We had a really wonderful session, Sharm. I think you are already your time. Are you having some other appointments?
No, it's 11:18 p.m. in Sydney right now. So my next appointment is to sleep. Probably listen to myself. Yes.
Okay. So like, uh, how are you planning to take your business to the next level? Like, what are the various courses or programs that you offer?
Yeah. So my website, shamsiva.com, it's basically my name.com, has a variety of ways where you can magnify your abundance. So I have lots of free resources. I've created a new thing called the Daily Abundance Magnifier, which is a Google form. It's very simple. You just go in and write in answers to some questions with hopes that it pumps you up, right? So that's a free resource. I have tons of free resources. But yeah, I offer coaching programs, and that's one-to-one coaching with me. And I'm also coming up with a new course called Abundance Mindset Magnified, which is a 4-week program where you do get live coaching calls with me weekly. But it's 4 weeks of amazing abundance magnifying experience, and we do things like the money rampage party, the gratitude rampage party, and things like that, with tons of bonuses and stuff. So there are many ways that you can work with me, and I'd like to invite you to check it out. Go to shamsiva.com and everything's there. Or come say hi. How do we do this, Kavita? Maybe approach
I'll
Kavita.
just I'll just share it here
Mm-hmm.
in the comments.
Okay, that's fabulous. And I do have a Facebook group if you're interested.
Yeah.
And do you have the link, Kavita? If you have, can you just post that there?
No, I don't have the link to your Facebook group. What is the name?
It's Magnify Your Money Mindset with Sharm Siva. I should have it somewhere. Give me a minute. I'll go get it.
Magnify your money mindset with Sharm Siva.
That's right.
Yes.
I don't seem to be able to put the link there, but I sent it to you
Can
on.
you use the comments? I mean, is the comments accessible to you?
I can see
Is
the
it
comments, but I can only post on the private
on
chat.
the
So
right side? On the right side of your
yes,
screen.
there. You either go to private chat and you'll see the link there. Can you just copy and paste that in the comments? Do you see?
No, the StreamYard does not permit us to post it. I'll do it because I have to. Okay, here we go. Yes. Oh,
Can you
what
add?
happened?
Oh, I accidentally muted
Did you
myself
go?
off. Yay. Okay, fabulous. Nice. Well, it's been
So,
really fun, Kavitha. Thank you
yeah,
for
it was a very nice session with you, Sharma. Our viewers also enjoyed it. I hope, like our American members, will be watching it during this night.
yeah, this
And
morning for them.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Thank you, Alina. Thank you, Geeta, and yeah, who else? Juden,
I like,
Michelle,
I like
Namrita.
what I
You
like what
also watching,
this person
ladies.
said. So they said,
Yes.
"Thank you for this live, Sham and Kavitha. Now I feel more confident that more abundance is coming to me. Confidence is
Yay.
really
Yeah,
boosted
that
energy.
is the kind of outcome actually I'm looking for when I bring in the guest. Thank you, Sharma. Thanks
Beautiful.
a lot.
Thanks so much,
Like, in
Kavitha.
fact, I don't mind you conducting a paid workshop inside my group. This
Oh,
is an
thank you,
open
Kavitha.
invitation for you.
That speaks volumes. Thank you so much. And for those
Yes.
of all of you watching live, I'm so appreciative that you guys are here. Kavitha and I as well, I think both of us. And for those of you watching on replay as well, I really hope that this session has been insightful, beneficial, and come find me or Kavitha if you have any questions about money mindset. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Yes. So, ladies, do give me your feedback on this. Share this video with your friends and family, and suggest what else would you like to hear next time.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, and the most important part, whatever tips and hacks Sharm shared today, uh, I, I suggest you go and practice it, put it in practice, so that like your you make a transition towards your millionaire self. Even if one person achieves that, I'll be happy, Sharm will be happy that our objective is met.
Absolutely. Thanks,
So with
Kavitha.
that,
Thanks for
we
the
are signing off. Like, once again, thanks a lot, Sharm, for coming inside Marvelous Women Entrepreneurs. We really had a wonderful session with you. Absolutely loved this session. It
thank
was an eye opener in a lot of ways. And like, once again, thanks a lot. And
Thanks, Kavitha.
I
Thanks,
really wish
Kavitha.
to see our members moving towards their millionaire self.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye bye, ladies. Stay marvelous and stay safe.